to part 2 of like New York City apartment living. So I wanted to do a separate video for my closet because honestly that's most of my apartment is basically a living closet. Okay, so we have entered the actual walk-in closet. The reason I freaking bought this apartment, didn't buy it, rented this apartment back in the day. And it's a dream. To be honest, the building is older, but honestly, the fact that there's this huge walk-in closet, I don't know, maybe this used to be part of the kitchen. What I love about this is how much I have been able to fit in here and organize in here and continue to like build on this closet to make it functional for me. And for 12 days of NYC, I'll do 12 tips and tricks for closet, small space living, organization tips, blah, 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 blah. So let's hop into it. Now, what I want to emphasize is that your closet should be organized in a way that works for you. So if something that I'm saying doesn't make sense for you, like just ignore, right? And also I would love to hear if you think I missed any tips. I'm going to try to pull this out of my ass because I just decided I wanted it to be 12 tips, but let's start. So something you need to think about is, especially in a small space, your organization does not need to be all down. You can utilize your walls. So for me, I am able to utilize this section for shoes, laundry basket, all of the brooms, umbrellas, glasses, my freaking vision board display, and hats, all on one wall. And I do that by having these little organizers. So once upon a time, I had my drawers living here and my shoes here, but I wasn't able to like have a good space for my brooms and my vacuum to be easily accessible to the point where I would use them. I feel like I was always like ignoring vacuuming, ignoring sweeping, and creating a disaster in my apartment because I didn't have easy access to it. So now it's literally right when you walk in, boom, we have supplies. Next, I utilize the walls a lot in a small space living. You want to make sure your organization goes up and not always floor, always out. So up here I have my accessories kind of on display. So all my hats, all my baseball hats are kind of just stacked here. I don't have that many, so it's not anything crazy, and it's just really easily accessible to me. My, you know, most worn ones are right here and I can just grab them, wear them, put them back so easy, and they just kind of stack on by literal nails. I don't have any crazy display case there, so that works for me. Another thing I have are these like stick on display cases. I think these were once upon a time for perfumes, but I use them for sunglasses. Honestly, I probably could get rid of some of these sunglasses because I don't wear them that often, but I do have them just in case here. And then what I really love is this wheelable shoe rack. So I do switch out my shoes depending on the season, but what I really like is that I'm able to adjust this to be what I want. Like I took out a couple rows shoe dividers because I want my tall boots to live here too, and in order for that to happen, there can't be another rod here. So I took out a rod here and a rod here, so I have 2 shelves that are a little bit wider, and then the rest are for like heels and other shoes of that sort. So how I have it displayed are tall boots, tennis shoes, flats, loafers, heels, and then on the very bottom are my most worn shoes, because I feel like when I do that, I'm able to shove them in there a little bit faster and it's less like tossing. Like I can toss them in the floor and kick them over versus like if they were right here. I don't know. I like that to be my organization. And then I always try to do one-to-one. Like, oh, I got new tennis shoes for running. Okay, I probably don't need my old ones. I can just have one pair of running tennis shoes. So I kind of keep it organized in that way. And then anything that I don't wear for the season is stored underneath my bed, which is a little chaotic. I haven't cleaned under there in years and I really need to, but we still got to get rid of some of my closet clean out stuff. So that's this wall. Now, another thing I really like is having my sweaters folded. So sweaters grow when they hang up because they're knitted, they're yarn. So like the yarn as it's hung up is slowly breaking. It's not tight woven fabric where it's a weave and it's stuck in place forever. It will grow. So if you find that you hang up your sweaters and there's a little bump on the shoulder, or the body feels longer, the sleeves feel longer, that's because it's growing when it's hung up by gravity. So I like to fold all of mine here, and I recently updated my shelving display to have things broken out by how much I'm wearing them versus color, because even though I think the color is really cute and makes it look really nice, it's very unrealistic with my lifestyle because I'm gonna be reaching for so many neutrals, so many easy clothes versus always the fashion. So I did store quite a bit of things in my pantry, which we'll get to. So these are more the day-to-day sweaters, and then over here I did the same thing where I have one section of outside sweatpants and sweat clothes, and the rest are like workout ones and then rotting ones where I'm allowed to stain them, and if I do stain them, oops, no worries. Like, I tend to pick out the same thing and wear that for like days. So in order to make sure my nicer sweatshirts do not get spaghetti stains on them or coffee stains on them, I did make a dedicated section for, you know, I'm wearing this to travel, I'm wearing this to work and dressing it up with a pair of jeans or something. So those things are dedicated for actual wearing, and the rest are home clothing. Now I'll take you to my hanging clothes. So I started off with dresses here, and I had these sorted by color because I don't really need them that much, and they are hung up so it's easy to sift through. None of my clothing is sorted by season except for, you'll see, jackets are out in the haul. And I do think that having it by category helps me a lot because I sometimes will forget about clothes. Like at one point I had super dressy dresses kind of in the back corner because the way this is organized, once it hits like a certain point, I can hardly see what's in the very back corner over here. But that's okay, right? So I have those hung up here, and then I have pants and long skirts hung up here because you do need the full length for this section. And over here is where my drawers are at the bottom, so things need to be shorter, like t-shirts and short skirts. So I have my nicer pants all set up here, and I have everything hung up on a clip hanger versus folded so that it's easy. I really want to invest in some like garment bags that I'm able to store things next to each other because sometimes I get nervous sequins are gonna scratch like a satin or silk, and so I want to make sure I start organizing that. This right here is all the stuff I said I was going to put on Pickle, but I've heard some like mixed reviews about Pickle, so I might just sell them, and in order to keep them in like good shape, I had them just like separated to the side. So I didn't adjust for the video anything. I wanted to be really realistic about it, and I was like, I could remove my laundry bin that's literally overflowing over here, but I think I'll just showcase that it's functional even when it's not perfect. So I think I skipped over my laundry basket, but right now my laundry basket is full and needs to be taken down. I like that it has this little lid on here. I can just plop it on, and it's so big. It's actually a toy organizer from Target, so I'll link that for you because it's so helpful. And there's an inside bag that you just lift it out and then the box stays, and it's been through some things, but it's stayed in really good shape for it being so cheap. So that's there. Over here I have my skirts that are organized by color. I like that because it's not like I have too much to have. And then I also have some like nicer hoodies hung up over here that are not quite jackets that need to be out there, but they're not quite foldable items because they're thick or they're just not daily use. They're more expensive. They have rhinestones on them, and those to me go here as like, oh, I'm wearing these clothes. Next, I have all my stuff for blouses and button-down shirts, and this is also by color, which has been working for me. I also do more of the sleeve lengths, like these are long sleeves, and then over here are my tank tops and going out tops. So we have all of the tops by color here, and then it's starting into the knit top. So these are more my t-shirts that I want to hang up because it's like I'm wearing them under a blazer. I don't want them to be wrinkled. I don't want them to be stained. I want to actually keep them nice. So I started doing that with like some of my Henley tops, or, you know, for example, this gorgeous Celine top. Gotta have space for that. Like, I don't want that to be a big freaking mess. And then towards the end, we have going out tops, tank tops, vests, things of that nature. And then on the very end, I used to have a bunch of little nails in the wall for my belts, but they kept falling all the time. So I don't know if this is the most practical, but I literally have them hung up on hangers, and that so far is working for me. And then, like I said, no space goes to waste. Okay, that rhymed. And I have a little nail for my robe because I will go from my bathroom to put on my robe, come in here, change, and I'll have a place for my robe to go that isn't the floor. It's important that you know the flow of your life. Like for me, maybe everyone doesn't wear a robe all the time. I wear a robe as soon as I get out of the shower, and I wear it until I'm dressed for the day. So it's important I have a place to put that isn't like, oh, now that you're dressed, like as you're dressing, make sure you remember to grab it and go and put it, hang it back up in the bathroom. That doesn't work for me. So this is a little way that I keep things tidy in my day-to-day. I also have a stepping stool that I have pushed to the side, and then next to that is an ironing board because I don't have like a pantry. So this opts for both clothing storage and cleaning storage. That includes like my brooms, my vacuums, my stepping stools, my dryer hangy thingy, over here. So then I'm like, do I go down, do I go up? So let's go down. So the way I've finally figured out how I need to organize my life is by category, but also by end use. So instead of being like, all my sweatpants live in this bin, all my pajamas live in this bin, I have wear it in the house buckets, I have workout buckets, and I have leave the house buckets. So that has been working really, really well for me because I don't overdo it in my PJ section, and I don't have things overflowing into the pants and I can't find stuff. So that's been working really well for me. I also have a bucket of just socks because I feel like socks, they really build, and then I used to just put them in my drawer with my underwear, and then things were getting floppy and going everywhere. So we have a dedicated sock drawer, and I don't think I talked about this much, but I have these bins that are from like college. Like they sell this all day long at Target. That's probably $1 billion business they made because the storage and the ability to have great drawers for your closet for such a good price is unbeatable. You don't have to buy a dresser. You can just have little boxes that collapse down when you need, and you can have either cubicles closed or open. I also have a section of like accessories that are not baseball hats, that are scarves, but bows, hats. It's cold now, so I have gloves right there. It does get really crazy right there. I do kind of think I wish I had a basket, but at the same time I'm like, it's nice to remember you have accessories because sometimes it's easy to get locked into wearing the same things. So that is what's happening here in the cubbies. And then in the drawer I have underwear, bras. In the first row I have t-shirts and tank tops organized, and then I have like a divider in my drawer that also allows me to set my tiny tank tops upright. So I fold it and then set it upright like this, flat, 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 flat. And that helps me to be able to see a lot of my camis, because when they are stacked flat, sometimes it's hard to not only destroy the freaking pile with pulling one out from the bottom, but not being visible to seeing all your camis, which sometimes you can wear as an outfit. And if I do have a cami that I really like and like I wear it as like more of an outdoor outfit, I do hang it up. And that's why you have to go through your closet often, is so that you have space to hang things up, because it's easy to accumulate, and instead of building and shoving, I have that. And then the bottom drawer is really just like pajamas, oversized t-shirts, graphic tees, things that I don't need to hang. Like I do have some graphic tees like this that I do hang up, but because I would wear that in a public setting, but things that are like PJ-ish, in the drawer they go. Now, I will say, I've seen a lot of people talk about how they love certain hangers. I've been a velvet hanger girly since probably high school because they are so flat, but they do break all the time. So I would be interested to hear, like, you also have velvet hangers. I feel like you can fit just so much more, but I'm constantly buying new packs because I need to replace them, because either the top portion of it falls out or I accidentally crack it, like with the snap of my fingers. So that is what's happening down here. But then I have a little bit of like miscellaneous things on the tops of my drawers. So at a certain point I had some sweaters stacked up here completely forgotten about, so I decided to shift it to seasonal. And with that I have a basket of swimming suits and swimsuit covers that lives right at the very beginning of my tank top section, because it is so tiny it can just sit right there and doesn't even touch a thing. And then I have folded crochet items, so once it gets really like summer is here, I'll switch out some of these more fluffy sweaters that are only for the winter and put them underneath as well. And I love these dividers because while they are probably not 100% necessary, they do keep things very tidy and not going into each other. So I like that for myself because it gives me, okay, you only have this much, this makes sense for that, and this is how wide you need to fold your sweatshirts, etc. Now for the top, which is hard to get to, and that's why I had to make some adjustments in the last year to what is up there, because at one point I had my denim and it was just like this, like every day, and things were falling and I wasn't always getting out my step stool. So I changed it to seasonal boots up here, which were at one point down here underneath my dresses. So I find that works really well for me because, to be honest, haven't needed any of these yet, and I will only need them if I'm going to a ski trip, something like that. Over here to the right, I have large bags because I did move all my bags into my pantry a couple years ago, and it was so helpful because at one point they were just in these cubbies and they were shoved and they were scraping each other, and like I need to take care of my things. So all my bigger bags are up here, as well as like a sun hat. I only have one, so it's like whatever. And then I have my sewing machine, and then I will never forget hearing, like, I think it was like Jeffree Star say, only the poor people keep their designer bags. Well, sorry, I have my Louis Vuitton box and bag up here because guess what? It's the only real thing I've ever bought from the store, and I think it's cool and special, and I'm like, why would I get rid of it? But it's also taking up space, so I don't know, maybe I need to age out of that. It's probably been like 8 years now. I'm probably gonna get rid of it. And then next to that, I have a little bit of a shelf thingy. I don't know why I initially first bought that. I think for like my portfolio stuff, but it does hold all my shipping supplies and technical boxes from cameras, things like that. So that is up there in the corner, and it's a good spot for it because I don't need to grab it that often. Not the most ideal closet organization, but I do have to utilize my bedroom slash studio apartment for closet base to hang up. I used to have just all my dresses on this smaller one over here, but as the collection and the shopping has grown, I decided to move my outerwear out here, which honestly I think is nice because right when I get home, I can just hang it up, put it right back where it begins, and it's not like, oh, I need to dig in and go in the back of my closet and get it out. And I also wear a lot of this stuff a lot more because it's so visible to me. So I do like that it's in my room. So I just have it all by colorway right now, and these are just like the small jackets, like jean jackets, leather jackets. I love like this jacket. It's kind of more of a top, honestly, is how I've been wearing it, but she's adorable little vintage moment. I also don't have it by like blazer or denim jacket. It's just by color. So I have, you know, literally a little tweed jacket next to my rain jacket, and I think it's fine. It looks good, it's functional, and I'm able to find everything so easily, and I still can walk by the bed. So over here I have things by not fur, but again, print. So I wanted this jacket to be kind of on the end because I love her. She's a little Maj cheetah jacket, and I think she looks really cute, and it kind of brings a little personality to the room, some color. Like, I used to have a mirror here. I've been meaning to clean that up and like put this away, but I ignore it. I don't know. Out of sight, out of mind kind of thing until you start giving a tour. You don't even realize the crazy little quirks of your apartment. So I do need to work on that, and I need to fill the hole in the wall over here. But whatever. I used to have this be open, and then these things were more as a divider coat setup over in between my couch and my bed. But I do actually think this like opens the space a little more and keeps it contained, and I don't have to get rid of as much. So this is another one of those things that I adapted to be what I want, because these are both the same thing, and it comes with another pull in here. So I just took one of the pulls out so that I was able to have one tall one and one short one. And also I love that it extends here. So like say I'm cleaning up or I need to like do something and organize, boom, I have a little extra wiggle room for myself, and then I can go ahead and put everything back where I need to, where it belongs, and I don't have to be overwhelmed. So I just love that little extension. As you can see, in order to get my camera here, I had to roll back my rug, so I'm not refilming, but whatever. Anyway, okay, so now for this, the initial bedroom wardrobe rack. I used to have this just be all my dresses, but eventually we had to make some shifts because the collections have grown. And now this is my haul section. So I do YouTube, obviously, and I do a lot of thrifting and hauls. This is a haul I need to film after this. And it just is able to collect all my things. Like if I'm going on vacation, I like that I have a rack of clothes that I can prepare for, or like I have family coming to visit soon. I'm able to put some empty hangers up here, have a little space for them to put their coats when they walk in the door, and it's kind of my just miscellaneous thing. And that way I'm able to, like, fun fact, if you get overwhelmed, have ADHD like a girl like me, you can just hang everything up and then shove it on here, and then when you have the time or energy, you can put it back where it belongs in the perspective areas. Sometimes this thing gets so full and crazy, but at least it's not always just constantly shoving things in my closet and then the whole rack gets out of control. It's like a go back section if you ever worked retail. Okay, now we have made it to closet 2.0, the pantry, which I just basically turned into an extension of the closet because I added both my denim and my foldable lightweight sweaters. And my bags were in here before, but like now 3 of the 5 shelves are no longer pantry items. So what I decided to do was, because I knew all my clothes were starting to grow on the hanger, I wanted to fold them up, but I was like, I don't want it to be one of those things where it's not easy to find or see. So that's where I decided to take things off the hangers, put them in here, and I'm able to put them by kind of vibe, so not color. So the great thing about this closet is that it's, yes, a pantry, but the door doesn't go all the way to the whole thing. Like, it's not like double doors or something. Like, you can only really get in to this portion, so you kind of have to take out these things to get over into the corner, but it goes literally all the way to here, all the way to here. So this is like a whole closet here and here, just like it's a little trap. I wish it would open all the way, but again, not my home. If it was my home, I would definitely knock this whole thing down and build out more closet, probably like to here. Anyway, I have the dividers in as well, and then I have the folded cardigans, folded tank tops, fine knit sweaters, and then more bejazzled cutesy patootsy sweaters over here. And then in the corners, I have kind of the lady jackets, which were hanging for like a year, and I was wearing them and my sleeves were just like so long. Even this is oversized, but it's not really my size. It was a sample from work, but at least now they'll be a little bit safer. And they're also very specific, and it's like, for me, I remember every single item all the time. Like, I know so much about my clothes and I'm always thinking about my clothes. So these are very easy to remember, and I can see pieces of them, so it all works out. But they're more specialty, like tweeds or lady jackets. And then I did the same thing for my denim. These are my core denim pieces that I will grab for day to day. And then my more special novel ones that have patches or flowers or sequin or two-tone, or maybe they're skinny jeans and they're a little out of style, which I know is a little controversial. I did keep them all. But I have those off to the side where if I specifically want them, they're easy to get to, but they're not, I don't need to get them every day. Initially, these things were a little bit more color coordinated, but this is what they look like, no touching up. I will say I did finally clean out my bags. So in my initial closet clean out, I was like, I have no time for this. I have no energy left. I did take them all out. I didn't get rid of any, and I just put the specialty ones over to the sides. And now that it's winter, you know, my tweed bag is easy to grab. I have enough space for my Celine bag, so she's not shoved at the top. I should probably like fill these, but I haven't gotten that far into the, what's it called? Preservation of my stuff. I would love to, that's what I want to do this year. I should put that on my resolutions. Like, I want to fill these and put them in bags and like garment bags for my stuff. I've been thrifting designer items and I don't want to ruin them. Like, I have a Tory Burch skirt that's like $600 and it's just thrown in my closet. That's crazy. Like, I should not have it like that. Anyway, that's what's going on in here, and that's what I mean by make your closet and your space work for you. If I was a foodie, this would be amazing pantry storage, but it's very Carrie Bradshaw of me to use the extra pantry for clothing item storage. And honestly, it's so nice because like when I go to work, I'm pretty much wearing jeans and a sweater, jeans and a t-shirt, and I'm able to like get ready right here and change and be in my try-on mirror. That was a little close, sorry. All right. Now, this is what's happening under the bed, and it's kind of crazy. I want to do a clean under my bed closet clean out because this is an extension of my closet, but I just haven't gotten to it in years. So I'm a little scared about what's under here, but I'll show you. First of all, we have to flip all the bedding because, you know. Okay, so I love this bed because it is a tall, like, metal bed, which I highly suggest. It's pretty cheap, if I remember correctly, but it's been a lifesaver for my tiny space because I have these massive drawers that hold a lot of accessories. You can kind of see it poking out. I have my Halloween hat from when I was a witch. I have some, you know, costume stuff from back. It was just Halloween, so that's why this is all here. I need to organize the crap out of what's going on here because it's winter, and I really should like hang my scarves up because I'm gonna start to want access to them more easily, and I'm not gonna want to do this every day and pull it out. So this needs to be on my list for like December or January. I look ridiculous. But that's how I have it organized. And then inside of there, I have buckets. So it's like the elements are there for a successful organized storage, but I just haven't done it in so long. Like 2015 Champions, Seaside, Florida, haven't been there in centuries. I don't need, like, Gamma Phi Beta all dusty. I need to clean this. It's kind of crazy that I haven't. It's just so easy to ignore because it's under the bed. But if I did have it organized and cleaned out, I would be able to organize things, other things, and then we would be in a better position. But no, everything spills out. I just shove it and then I'm like, bah. So yeah. I don't know what I was getting at with that, but that's what's going on under here. And that's pretty much goes for every single little basket. I have this basket filled with an IKEA bag of stuff I want my mom to take back and sell for me. I have old shoes, summer shoes. I will say, ooh, I have this summer shoe section that's really nice. Although it's a little annoying because it doesn't really close. I kind of wish I did the plastic ones, but these are like the little cardboard bins. But I do like that it like folds, so I'll just show it like this. It folds up like that so I can see what's in there without having to take the whole thing in and out. So I do enjoy that, and it lets me put it on this side of there. So all my, you know, flip-flops and gladiators from summertime, they get stacked up and put in here so that they're not taking up space anywhere else. And that's really the closet storage functional wise. The rest are just bags and bags of things I need to sell, thrift flip, I don't even know, random shit. Now that is how I live in this small apartment as far as clothing goes, as far as daily access to things go. And so if you liked this video, make sure you subscribe. I post new videos every week, but I've been doing the 12 days of Christmas. So if you landed on this and you're new, subscribe so you don't miss the next week's episode. Or if you were curious about more of my closet, I have so many closet clean outs. I have so many apartment tours that are a little bit more, what's the word, like organized, and I just have lots going on here in the city. So subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Love you so much. Bye.